Hello, everybody. Time now for the Champions League draw reaction, as promised. Here I am. A couple questions I wanted to respond to before I get started. Looking back at what happened, and one that stood out, it was from Teddy, and he asked, did Diego Simeone get the tactics wrong? And I think he did. He basically just compacted his team and let them Juventus cross ball in over and over and over again, and eventually enough crosses had the breakthrough. And that's, live by the sword, die by the sword. But I thought Simeone, who I think is the best manager, although it's a little bit tainted after that, certainly comes off that. Another question, and it came into view after I was mentioning it here about the English teams, and I was asked, is this the best year for English clubs? Hard to say, but I think certainly it is trending in that direction. I think when you look at the late 90s, the English league was so strong with those Manchester United and Chelsea and Arsenal teams. This is getting close. We'll see how the draw breaks out. So let's get into it. And I'm going to go in, the games are going to be on April the 9th and the 10th. That's a long time off. What am I going to do? I'm going to have to do something else to keep me occupied here. But the April 9th games will start with Manchester City and Spurs. They're going to meet, I think, 3 times within about 11 or 12 days. They did meet earlier, and Man City won and Spurs won. It wasn't easy. I remember watching that game, but they did get the victory. I think it's a good matchup for Manchester City. I always think with Tottenham Hotspur, as the season wears on, they're going to be challenged because they don't have the depth that a Manchester City does. So I think that's a good draw for Manchester City, who I've said on this very program is going to win the Champions League. I know it was a little curveball. I went with Juventus. Manchester City-Juventus could be a semi-final matchup. Will not be the final as I had been hoping for in the days past. So Manchester City, Spurs, I like City, obviously, in that one. I think they have to be happy with that. They didn't get Liverpool. They didn't get Juventus either in the quarterfinals. That's good news. And I think with those teams, you have a team that beat them. You have the depth that will cause them problems. Second game on April 9th, Liverpool-Porto. I'm in agreement here that this is Liverpool's spot. I think what happened last year is just going to help them. They're playing well-rounded. Different players are stepping up, making an impression. To me, it is the goalie and the central defender, and Virgil van Dijk, that make this team better and different and capable of making a long run. This is what they were all there for. I like Liverpool in this game, but I am very cautious. I had my rankings of the 8 remaining teams, and I had Porto at 5. They've dipped a little bit in their league form, but Champions League in the groups, and yes, they weren't in the most challenging of groups, but no one scored more goals than Porto, and they did not taste defeat, and they got by Roma. It was a stiff test, and I think a lot of people thought this is where we might jettison them from the tournament, but there they are. This is going to be hard for Liverpool. Porto are really good. I will be honest to you and say I haven't seen Porto with that much regularity. I go with the results. I've seen them a few times. I like what I see. I like the Mexican influence too, and a guy like Hector Herrera could make a big difference there. So let's move on to the April 10th games, as we're cutting right through here. Juventus and Ajax. A lot of people like this because of the thrill that Ajax gave us in knocking out Real Madrid, and it was thrilling. And I'm really looking forward to seeing them play again. Youth has been served in this tournament before. You just have to look a couple years back to that incredible Monaco team that was disassembled after that semi-final run. Ajax have already sold a couple of their players, and that will only continue. Can Dusan Tadic, who looked like the best player in the world, do something similar against Juventus? Possibly. But the one thing is all the good young Ajax talent. Juventus have really good young talent as well. Starting with Paulo Dybala, who has played a marginal role here, but you certainly have to account for him. João Cancelo, Rodrigo Betancourt, Federico Bernardeschi, who I'm smitten over. He's lovely. He's a fantastic player, and I think he was man of the match in the second leg against Atletico Madrid. So Juventus, I think, are comfortable. They had their scare. They get through here, although Ajax are going to enjoy this moment, certainly. Let's go to the last game on April the 10th. Manchester United-Barcelona. This is very harsh for Barcelona. I'm going to say the game against Lyon, which they won 5-1, I'm not calling Barcelona a pig, but it was a little bit of lipstick on the pig, if you know what I mean, Jelly Bean, in the sense that there was 30 minutes there where they were on thin ice, potentially going out, and then the goal came, and then it all Lyon exhaled, and it was over. I have not been impressed with Barcelona collectively thus far in this tournament. During the last few games, I have been impressed with Manchester United. I think they're going to be great on the counterattack. I like them in this game. And as you follow where I'm going, it's going to have an English feel in the semifinals. I have 3 English teams: Manchester United, Liverpool, Manchester City, joined by Juventus in the semifinals. Manchester City, Liverpool final. Leicester City winning the Premier League a long, long time ago. The big boys are putting their hands up. You have 4 here in the quarterfinals. You have 2 in the quarterfinals of the Europa League. So English teams really enjoying the moment. So to answer your question, this could be really good. Enjoy these games. I'm going to leave it there. Please subscribe to my YouTube page. This is getting bigger and bigger. We're going to get a big platform, and we want to hear your questions. If you help me subscribe, I'm able to get these things out more frequently on a Sunday show that I'm working on as well. Give me your thoughts. This is a collective effort. We're a team now. By the way, I join you from the Fields, LA, which is a great place to get some food if you ever want to. I'm going to get some food now. All this Champions League talk is making me hungry. Enjoy the games. Wait for it, but enjoy.